Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again. If I had to start all over again with everyday carry, I would start here. We're not trying to completely bust your pockets up, but we are trying to get you away from some of the generic stuff and some stuff that you just throw away or not do maintenance of. First, we're going to start off with the Spyderco Mantra. This is a great knife. It's a budget. It's made overseas, so it's not made in Colorado like some of their obviously made in America selections. But it does have a great suite of features. First off, the pocket clip is ambidextrous, so you can change it around if you want to. It's a wire pocket clip, so it's going to fit over most of your clothes and jeans and stuff like that. And because this may be one of your first knives that's above a gas station knife, it includes a flipper, but it's very, very discreet. I mean, way back here is that flipper, which will still give you access to the knife. It gives you now access to a liner lock, which has jimping on it, which makes it a little bit easier to disengage it. A little bit of jimping down here. And of course, you have some jimping up here to keep your finger from sliding up the spine of the blade. The only thing I would say is, a lot of issue I have with Spydercos, there's not really a sharpening choil. So you might want to, once you learn what sharpening means, maybe create one for yourself or just send this to get sharpened professionally. But a good budget steel of 8 CR13 MOV, you're going to be sharpening this more often than not if you're using this heavy, but it's going to be better than a gas station knife. It's also looking really good with the carbon fiber scales on here. Great budget option. And then this gets you started with the Spyderco Spidey flicking. Now the geometry of this Spidey hoe is not the best. Sometimes I miss whenever I'm trying to Spidey flick this compared to some of its brethren, but this will still give you the opportunity to get used to the Spidey flick, coming through and walking it open with your thumb. Trying to do a true Spidey flick with your middle finger still can be done. It's just a little bit more work, but I like this. It's a great price, and this is something that you're going to be able to enjoy quite a bit. Now, if you're trying to get a budget real watch, I would say start off with the S5. You have the tactical field watch here. Now the thing is, it's a cousin to the C5 tactical field solar watch. A few key differences here. The watch that's on my wrist is assembled in the USA. This is also powered and charged by the sunlight or solar light, or it's my studio lights. You can tell the weight difference because of the features in here for that recharge feature. But other than that, you're still getting some fantastic features out of this. Still great loom. You're still getting 2 watch straps. You're still getting the same guaranteed 10 atmospheres of waterproofing, 2-year waterproof guarantee, and it looks very, very good. 40mm watch face on this. And the thing about this is that this thing is just very, very well made. And the thing I like the most about it is that it gets you away from constant notifications on your wrist, having to charge your battery every 2 days, hell, even having to charge it every 30 days. Even the most monster smartwatch battery cannot compete with this watch. You're going to be getting all that for well below the price of some of the smartwatches out there. And I think that this will be a great addition if you're trying to find that budget banger starter for your everyday carry. Now, you're going to want a flashlight for a couple of reasons. One, let's just see if you're going to be able to do things like I did the other day. Took my kids to go see Moana live action. I know the reviewer said it sucks. I give it like a 6 out of 10. Okay, it could be a little bit better. But as we're leaving the theater, of course, my 11-year-old comes up to me, Dad, my cell phone has fallen underneath the Twizzler popcorn gum ridden seats, which are disgusting. All right. She tried to use her cell phone batteries. They're so floody. They don't shine very bright. Of course, I'm able to pull out my Ace beam, turn it on, and get the output that's needed to be able to literally see underneath a movie theater seat. Being able to use this to be able to look if he drops underneath your vehicle, find something underneath the couch, or if you just want to be able to put this on like the low setting and walk into your bedroom at nighttime without disturbing your spouse, you can do something like that. That's one thing I like about this. As a very clicky switch, it's on right now on low, and you can barely even tell because that moonlight mode is just so incredibly dim. Matter of fact, let me just show you how good it can be. So moonlight mode, I mean, you could barely see it here, but it still is enough for you to be able to walk into, see what you need to do. Half press to switch through the modes before you turn it on, and then you click it down to get a constant on. Nice clicky button. Now, one thing about this flashlight, it's going to give you some features of some more expensive flashlights, and they may not be the best, right? So like it does have a strobe mode, but I think that the lumen output that this is doing, strobe mode is not the most effective in the world, and it probably could have a better spot flood mix. I mean, this is like a true floodlight for the most part. I'll bring you here. And the thing is that you're going to want to decide, hey, is this a flashlight that I like? Is this something that I'm like, you know, maybe not so much. Now, this is the Ace Beam Pocket Light AA. This is the 10th anniversary edition. This is the titanium version. So I would recommend that for this one, you get the regular pocket light. They're going to have the same output, same functionality. You're still going to be able to see, do I even like a flashlight? Do I like having this pocket clip? Does it feel good in the hand? And there's a lot of options you're going to see out there, stuff from Woobin and from Night Court, from Streamlight, and, you know, from Olight. But I think this starter Ace Beam is really, really good. You can even maybe check out Olight's competitor, which would be like the i5T. But this one's really, really fantastic. One thing I like about it a ton is that it does use common batteries, right? So it comes with this 14500 battery. A 14500 battery looks like a AA, but you can actually use this. It has more output, a higher output rating than a normal alkaline AA battery. However, if this battery runs out, and it does charge with USB Type-C, but let's just say you forget to charge it, you can stop at a gas station, you can buy a AA, you can throw it in this flashlight, and it's going to work just fine. It won't get the same output as the 14500 because this is a stronger battery than a AA, but you're going to be rocking and rolling. You're going to be very good to go. Now, one thing I want to talk to you about is this is probably going to be the most expensive part of this kit beyond the watch. And this is going to be your wallet. And the reason I say you want to spend a little bit more on your wallet, even though you're going for budget, is because you may be the type of person, especially whenever I see people get into everyday carry, they're coming from wallets that are packed full of shit. You know, my granddaddy, I saw his wallet the other day. He had at least 40 cards inside. My uncle had like 20 cards inside his wallet. So I'm trying to imagine if I were trying to convince them to go with an everyday carry, get the wallet out of their back pocket, get something a little bit more slick, it would probably be the Proof wallet. This one can easily handle up to 25 cards. So you're going to be good to go with that. It slides up. You get all the cards features that you need right there. And in the very back, you can do up to 20 bills or notes behind this cash holder. If you want to, you can even put more cards back here if you wanted to, and maybe hide them. So I would say if you use my discount code, that's going to help you definitely get the price down on this wallet. The biggest thing also is maybe if you can splurge on the Esker tracker, because this is going to help you find your wallet. This little tracker cards works on the Find My network with Apple. This thing charges with its own proprietary charger or whatever, but it's going to be able to help you, makes a little noise so you can find. I mostly lose my wallet inside the house. Okay, if I don't keep it in my EDC tray, then I normally will lose my wallet inside the house. But this is probably going to be the biggest nut. They have a lot of different variations of this. You can get it in the black like I have it here. You can change out the plates. I have it in the OG, the brown leather, but a lot of different ways to skin the cat. Now, as I mentioned before, you may want to decide to get yourself a way to carry all of your stuff. In shameless self-promotion, this is where I bring you the next version of my EDC tray, which will be dropping very, very soon. This is the Insert Tiers Gold Pound Sand edition, but swapped around. So when you have a different Marine here with a hoodie, it says US Marine on the top, which lets you know you got it from your boy Marine X. Lots of EDC gear all around the actual hooded Marine, while he has two knives on his back, and then it says Go Pound Sand, which is an indicator in the military to tell somebody to take a walk. The answer is no, I don't want to hear it. You can just find it elsewhere. Fantastic. So this is going to be the next version of my EDC tray, so make sure you get subscribed and you link down below. I'm going to link these up whenever these are ready, and of course I like these a ton, and I'm DIYing these here in the man cave. So another thing is going to say is try to maybe not in your pocket. Okay, a couple of next thing I'm going to show you, these aren't things you're going to necessarily have in your pocket every day, but at least have accessible to you. I really want you to get your own pen. I really want you to get your own pen, maybe keep it in the cab of your truck, maybe keep it in the sun visor of your vehicle, maybe keep it in your backpack. But if you ever have to sign an important document, every time you pick this pen up, you're going to remember that day. You're going to remember that pen. You're going to remember the way, when and where you were at when it made it happen. You know, this is a pen by Bastion. You can change the insides of it because I don't like Bastion's writing instruments the way they come. You can change these out. and get a better riding experience. Like they have G2 refills that you can change this out with. But what I really like about this is that this is just a very well done pen. You can get it in stainless steel or titanium, and it's still giving you that boat action feel. You're still getting the right unique riding experience, but you're spending less than $100 compared to some of my other pens. I got pens that cost over $300 that I bought myself. But those pens I've used to sign birth certificates. I've used them to sign the mortgages on the houses. And I use one of them to sign a title to my truck. I mean, like, it just makes me feel good to know, like, I use my own crap for that. So is this something that's a necessity right now? No. Is this something you may want to consider? Yeah, I think so. I would also say get yourself a Zippo. Now, a Zippo, you can get some of their competitors that use butane inserts. You know, Tisfa makes some stuff, and so does Thunderbird. But I would just say get yourself a Zippo. Doesn't have to be the Montana version. Get a butane insert. Always have the ability to start a fire. Okay, I think that's going to be effective a part of your everyday carry. You don't have to put this in your pocket, put it in your cab of your vehicle. Mine normally stays in my pocket, but that's just something I think is important as well. And then you need to consider a multi-tool. This won't be in your pocket every day, but I think this should be a part of your kit if you consider it. I don't carry this every day. Sometimes I don't have access to a multi-tool every day, especially if I'm just piling around the house. But days like mowing the lawn, maintenance outside the house, working on my truck, going to a buddy's house, yeah, I grab a multi-tool oftentimes because you just never know. Other day I'm mowing my lawn, I could clearly see a ground wire coming near my house. Near my breaker box from the garage, there's a ground wire that comes out. It's supposed to be wrapped around the ground wire. Well, I had a multi-tool in my pocket, specifically the next tool, the F30, their flagship. I'm able to take that, open it up, grab the pliers, immediately grab that wire and wrap it around. I know it's supposed to be there. A few things about this that you may or may not like. These is a butterfly assist opening, which means every time you go to grab a nut or a bolt, this thing's going to assist you. It's going to spring itself back open, makes it a little bit easier to grab. However, that does mean you always have to put pressure to grab, to really have access to those nuts or bolts, to grab staples out of walls, to grab nails, do stuff like that. That may be something that you do or don't like. Has replaceable cutters. This multi-tool is not trying to be the premium multi-tool. It's not trying to take over something that you would get from like Victorinox and their heavily well done Spirit line. It's not trying to take it over anything from Leatherman or even from Gerber or SOG. It's just trying to run in its own lane. It has a very capable sheep foot, very, doable, not the sharpest knife out the box, but will it be good for cutting open boxes or cutting wire if you're in the middle of working on something? Yeah, it's going to be fine for that. Has a good tool set. You're going to get a saw. You can probably use this to take up to a 2-inch branch down, probably not more than that. You're also going to get a very good pair of scissors that they have. One thing I've known about NextTorch is that they're really trying to give you a good option for scissors. So if you're going to be cutting tissue paper, aluminum, string, paracord, you don't want to use a knife, you can use a good pair of scissors. This gives you a lot of lateral room in there. Very, very big scissors. So you can make some good definite cuts just in case you were to need to. It does have a ruler here. The ruler is in inches and it's in centimeters, so you can use that. And then it has a very good tool set overall. So the tool set does include a seatbelt cutter with a Phillips screwdriver here. And it includes a can opener as well as a wire stripper on the other side, right on the inside there of that can opener. And then you get a bottle cap lifter with a slotted screwdriver. So decent tool set. You get access to all those tools while the tool is closed itself, and then you can open it up and get to those pliers. So a very decent tool. I like it. I think that's going to be a good budget option. It's going to be below $60. It really just depends on which color you get. I mean, they have all sorts of colors. You can get it in black or red or coral or whatever the hell you want to do. They got a lot of different options for you to check it out if that's something that you're thinking about. So those are some things that I think maybe you may want to get yourself a more powerful flashlight for your backpacks or whatever, but we're not even going to go down that road because I don't want to take you down a crazy rabbit hole. I just want to give you options for a basic kit. What am I missing for a basic everyday carry? Do you think I should be adding notebooks? Should I be adding a handkerchief? Should I be adding a backpack or a fanny or a sling? I think all those could come in due time. But I think this is a great starter kit nonetheless. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.